Hi, today we're cooking a pork loin joint. Stay with me till the end to see how I would have done it differently. Hi, welcome back. I'm Martin and I'm passionate about cooking outdoors. This weekend I'm going to be cooking pork loin. It's cold, but I've got hot coffee. What could go wrong? Ideally, the day before cooking the pork, we want to give it a dry brine. Generally, I use 1 tablespoon of flake salt per kilo, whatever meat I'm using. I've got 1.5 kilo of pork here, so I'm using 1.5 tablespoons of salt. So get the salt rubbed in well all over the pork. And then what we're going to do is leave it in the fridge uncovered on a rack for 24 hours. Soon I'm going to be adding a video about wet and dry brining. So it's the next day and the pork has been brining in the fridge for 24 hours. It's now time to add the rub. I've toasted 2 tablespoons of fennel seeds and a teaspoon of black peppercorns and ground in a pestle and mortar. I've added some fresh thyme, 3 cloves of crushed garlic and 3 tablespoons of olive oil to create a paste. I'll rub this into the pork and let it stand a while I fire up the Kamado. You could leave this overnight to marinate if you wanted to, but because the pork has already been brining for 24 hours, I'm not going to bother. So there we are. Let that sit in the fridge for a short while. So now it's time to fire up the Kamado. Today I'm using the Kamado Joe with the barbecue charcoal. When you've sparked up the lighters, open the bottom vent fully, close the lid and open the top vent. When the lighters have gone out and you've got a glow on the charcoal but it's not too hot, you can add a couple of wood chunks to get a great bit of smoke. Today I'm using cherry. You can now add the deflector plates and set up the grills. I'm also adding a drip tray beneath where the pork will sit. I'm now setting up my Inkbird temperature probe at the grill to get a more accurate oven temperature at where the position of the pork will be. The oven temperature at the grill currently is about 230 degrees. It's now time to put the pork on. I've inserted a probe in the centre of the pork and we'll put the pork on the grills above the drip tray. There's no skin on the pork, however I'm going to cook the pork high around 240 to render the fat for about 20 minutes. Then I'm going to turn it down and cook it at around 140°C. For pulled pork, you would normally cook to an internal temperature of 90 to 93°C. But I want to be able to slice my pork today, so I'm going to cook it to about 71°C. So it's been cooking now for around 3 hours and I'm at 71°C internal temperature. I said at the beginning that I'd do it differently next time. In my experience, it's easier to turn the temperature up on a Kamado than it is to turn it down. Therefore, next time, what I'm going to do is actually start cooking slow at 140, but then turn it up to 240 for 20 minutes at the end instead of the beginning as I did it this time. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you soon on the next one.